Hi everyone, it's Sylwia here. Welcome to my channel. Today I would like to talk to you about life changes and maybe what lessons we took from 2022. This time of the year usually will reflect, on the previous year. We reflect on what we have learned. We analyze maybe what kind of last year was for us, and what we can tend to judge it, whether it was good, whether it was bad. If it was bad, why? And if it was good, why it was good. What did we really take from last year? We like to reflect, we like to analyze, we like to overthink. Well, maybe not overthink, but we like to know what was going on for us in the last year from a distance perspective. So this is the topic for today. For me, as you might heard, that 2022 was definitely the hardest year of my life. I have been challenged, and when I say challenged, I mean really tested by the universe. I was challenged in all aspects of my life. Literally, I don't think there was one thing that I wasn't challenged about, or there was no test put on. So, and it wasn't easy. It was difficult as hell last year, regarding my business, regarding my profession, regarding my financial management, regarding my marriage, regarding me as the role of a mother, my even my physical health was very much challenged, which that itself wasn't easy. It was something I never even had to think about. I would consider myself as a very healthy person. I eat healthy, I exercise, I meditate, I do all those things, but yet obviously there was something happening at my health went down the hill. But that was last year. That was last year. I'm very well, I'm feeling good, I'm all good. But it doesn't change the fact that I have been challenged. And on top of that, I had 3 griefs. I had 3, not griefs, I had 3 losses, and one was practical, very difficult one. We lost our dog. We had to put her to sleep 2 weeks before Christmas, as she got very ill and there was no way we could help her out, and the only how we could really help her was to put her to sleep so she wouldn't feel any other pain. So that was very difficult for my family, myself. It was a huge loss. She was with us for 11 years. She was part of the family. She was very much loved and she was important. So losing her wasn't easy to embrace. But having said all of that, with every challenge we meet on our life, with every challenge that we are being put into, there is always a second end. There's always something for us to take. There's always something where we have to stop, rethink, reanalyze, maybe process, and then come on the other end. And again, I'm as a psychotherapist, I value personal process very much. I value personal development, personal growth hugely. And myself, I have been in therapy for the last 6 years. I took a break for 2022, and that was the worst way. And that was the worst year of my life. But that's on me. That's was my conscious choice. But I'm coming back this year. I am coming back this year, but that's not what I really want to talk about. That's me being on the rant now. What I trying to say is that, because just because I have been in therapy for 6 years, that doesn't mean I'm healed completely. That's it, done, everything. Last year, I was brought back to aspects of my life where I thought I have solved them. I thought those traumas were absolutely done and dusted for me. Life showed me different ways. Life showed me, no, like, you didn't look at this aspect yet, or that wasn't fully, because as I'm growing as a human being. I had to come back, reflect, and learn something new from it. So yes, last year I even had to go back to my childhood traumas, and I had to revisit them and take something new from them, even though I thought it was pretty much healed. So those pasts, those demons, if you want to call them, they will come back if you're not looked at them properly. That's what I have learned hugely in 2022. So it's your own responsibility to look after yourself and to take responsibility for your own growth. So, having said that, let me just share some of my own lessons that I took from 2022, because today I feel like a new person. That's definitely. I feel so much stronger. I feel my heart never beaten stronger ever. I don't think. I know my position. I'm very much way stronger business owner, company owner. I know. So you see, 2022 also helped me revisit my own self-concept. It helped me revisit, who am I really? Like, where am I going? What is, who am I? Doing all those things, yes, it's great. But who am I while I'm doing those things? And at the beginning, you might think, yeah, this is my role, yes, I'm accomplishing them, I'm doing it well. But who are you really? You see, you have different roles, probably just like me. And those roles, yes, they somehow identify you as a person, but that is not whole you. This is not the full self you. And you have to find that. So 2022 definitely helped me find myself even more. It helped me connect with myself strongly. Was that easy? No, it wasn't. It wasn't pleasant, wasn't comfortable. If I would have a choice, conscious choice, if I would, go back there again and do that all over again, oh, I already feel the resistance. I feel like, oh my god, it's like, no, please, no. But if I would have to, I would. But if I don't have to, I do not wish to come back there. I have learned my lessons, and for me, that's that. Okay, so back to the lessons, back to what I want to really share with you today. So, lesson number 1 is that change is inevitable. Whatever you do, change is a guarantee thing in your life. Change is something that you can't change. Change is something that the more you fight it, really, the bigger it grows, the harder it gets. So really, with any change, whether you choosing it, whether life is throwing those changes at you, the best what you can do is go with the flow. Stop fighting. Stop telling yourself that you can't. Stop making this much more harder than it actually can be. Allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to be uncomfortable, allow yourself to sad, allow yourself to process those emotions, but stop fighting with yourself and stop fighting with life. Lesson number 2 was, behind every excuse there is fear. If you're telling yourself, I can't, but only if I was this person, only if I did that, only if I had that, then I could do it, then I would feel like this, then I would be happy. All of those are excuses. You're telling yourself, you're convincing yourself, you're giving yourself all those excuses not to do it. But if you would really sit with that feeling for a bit longer than I don't have to do it and then run, you would know that the base of that is fear. You would know that, okay, something about that makes you feel afraid and you don't want to look at it. This is why you're making those excuses, so for your ego you could feel better about yourself. So, lesson number 3 is, letting go might not be as hard and difficult as letting be. Sometimes acceptance comes much harder than forgiveness, than anything else. So sometimes letting be and accepting things the way they are might be sometimes way harder than push it aside, put it away, I don't want to look at it, gone. So acceptance is not always easy. Lesson number 4. Good communication is the key to any relationship and any interaction with other human being. Communication is everything. Communication is the glue to other people. Like, communication is something that helps us connect with other people. It helps us solve problems. It helps us understand the other person. It helps us see each other. So good communication is always the key when we're interacting with somebody else. Also, that actually includes communication with yourself. You got to listen to yourself. You got to listen to your own, your emotions. You got to listen to your thoughts. Of course, not to every thought, because we have thousands and thousands of thoughts every single day. But the most significant ones, the most that you keep coming back to, that's the thing to come back to and start listening. Okay, why am I feeling like this? Why am I telling myself this? What is that about? Try to have that good communication between yourself as well. So it's more about, when it comes to yourself, it's more about communication between your mind and your body. When those are connected, the communication, it comes, it flows. It's very easy for you then to actually acknowledge it. So communication, the key to everything. Lesson number 5. Not everyone deserves your kindness and caring and your honesty. So allow yourself to know that. Allow yourself to admit to yourself that not everyone in your life are necessarily a good people that do deserve your kindness. Because there are some people who will take advantage of you. So I come back to that lesson as well in a second. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay to know that not everyone deserves you. You deserve your attention. But then what you do with that knowledge, it's up to you. Are you still going to push yourself and build that relationship whether it's not good? Or you will say, you know what? I think I'm done. So again, your life, your choice. Lesson number 6 is that slowing down and taking time for yourself is not a luxury, it's a must. It's your responsibility, it's something that you have to do. Looking after yourself, taking some time for yourself, taking time out as a self-care, you have to do it. Otherwise you will burn out, otherwise you will feel drained, exhausted, tired. You have to look after yourself, because if you want to do it, nobody else will do that for you. Lesson number 7. Yes, being kind to ourselves and looking after ourselves is our most important, responsibility. That is linking to, not allowing people to be there when they shouldn't be there, but you have to look after yourself. You have to, respect yourself enough. You have to build that good relationship with yourself. Because when your own relationship with yourself is good, is based on kindness to yourself, is based on love, you can overcome absolutely anything, because you will feel strong within yourself. You will strong inside you. You will have that strength in you and you will feel it. But you can only achieve that when you're really looking after your own self, when you're really looking after your own relationship, and you know that, then you can rely on yourself. So the trust from you to you, trust and relying on yourself, it's a huge aspect for your own well-being. Lesson number 8 is about boundaries. You have to set boundaries. If you want set boundaries, people will walk over you, but it's not their fault. Whose fault is that? Yours, because you haven't set boundaries. You haven't told them, look, I do not accept that, I do not appreciate that, I do not want this, or that is not appropriate. You have to set boundaries. You have to say, no, this is not happening. No, I'm not doing this. No, that doesn't suit me. It's okay to set boundaries. So you have to set boundaries to protect your own space, to protect yourself, and it's also part of respecting yourself as much as you do to other people. Lesson number 9. Humans are amazing, and we can overcome absolutely any obstacle that life will throw at us. We are amazing when it comes to healing. We have the inner power within us that will help us heal. And only if you want to heal, you will. So that willpower, that strength, it's there. So I think that was my other lesson for 2022, was that people are just generally, they are amazing. Look, we are amazing creatures. Lesson number 10 is, you might not understand what's happening at first. You might be feeling confused, or you might not know the answers, or to the questions of why is this happening, what is going on, but you have to trust this. Just because you don't know why, or you don't know what's, you don't have the answers, you don't know how to explain these things, you have to trust that this is meant for you. Like, this is what you have to process. Is this what is meant for you? Like, the universe doesn't make mistakes. There's no mistakes in the universe. So you have to trust that. You have to trust the universe, that the higher self, the higher consciousness, the higher power knows exactly what you need to grow, to develop, to get where you want to be. You have to pass certain tests. You have to show yourself that you are stronger. You have to get to know yourself. You know, the bigger the dreams, the bigger the challenges, because you cannot stay the same and having the other things, because your energy have to match this. So you just have to trust the universe. So lesson number 11, trust don't come easy to people. Trust is something that we are so much afraid of. We are afraid to let people in. We're afraid to connect with someone very closely. We are afraid to allow someone very close to us because there is this fear of getting hurt. So when we don't trust people, and I'm not talking like people, strangers, I'm talking people that you actually have a relationship with, maybe it's time for you to consider how much you do trust them. And you know, the first answer will be, oh no, I do trust. Do you? And if so, to what extent? So that was another lesson, that people don't usually trust easily because the fear of getting hurt is bigger. So the fear we tend to hold the fear closer, so we create this barrier so people won't hurt us. If that is so, then some personal work is required. Lesson number 12. Don't say things you don't mean, ever, because that will backfire at you and you will feel huge regret. So don't do that. Don't say things you don't mean. Don't say things you don't understand. Don't say things that you think you know, but you never experienced that. You have no clue. So don't talk about things you don't understand. Unless you ask, unless you're exploring, that's different. But don't put yourself in a position of an expert when you never ever experienced that thing. Lesson number 13 is that love is the most amazing power force. It's huge. It can heal anything. When you have love, whether it's love towards yourself, whether it's love towards your family, whether it's love towards your pet, anyone, that can heal you. That will expand you. The feeling of love will expand you. So welcome love to your life. Allow love to come to your life and let it grow. Because love is the most powerful life force. There's no bigger energy than love. Because even enlightenment, spirituality, it's all based on love. It's based on love to other people. It's based on love to life. So there's no love is magical, really. Good, strong, and supportive family is your biggest blessings. Because having people around you, having people when things get tough, having people to tell you that they love you no matter what, and that they will be there, having kids happy to see you, wanting to spend some time with you, having friends, that it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and don't take those people for granted. Don't take that love that they have for you for granted. You have to give some back. Lesson number 15 is that gratitude is the bridge between hell and heaven. No matter in what kind of darkness you will be, when you feel grateful and when you will find things to be grateful for, you will overcome that. You will overcome that darkness. Also, gratitude will get you from your lowest point to the highest. Because the more grateful you will feel, your energy shifts to the higher vibrations. So you might be very, very low. But the minute you start contemplating on the things that you are grateful for, that feeling is growing. So when that feeling is growing, your whole energy is changing. So it shifts to the higher energies. It shifts to the higher vibrations. So for that, you will feel better. You will feel happier. You will overcome anything. But all what you have to do is to feel and find things that you can be truly grateful for. And stop taking things for granted. Because when we can't think of anything that we are grateful for, it means you are taking loads of things for granted. But really, you shouldn't take anything in life for granted. Lastly, we're coming to the end. So last lesson for 2022 for myself was that you must process your traumas. No matter how big, no matter how small they are, if you won't process them, you guessed, they will come back bigger than ever. So you have to look at the things you are afraid of the most. You have to look into them. You have to grab them and see them, what's in it. Majority of the time, when we are afraid to process or reprocess trauma, is because we think we are just too afraid to go back there. We are afraid of those emotions. But the things with trauma is you already experienced that. It already happened. It's in the past. Now you're learning to look at that what happened from a different perspective. And if there are any emotions that, let's say, if it was your childhood trauma, it means there is some emotion stuck in one of the layers of your psyche that you have to allow it to, to come to the surface. So, and the minute you will allow yourself to feel that for when you were a child, that's where the healing process starts. So usually we're afraid. We have this perception of trauma is huge, it will destroy us. So we suppress all the feelings and we pretend it never happened. But the truth is, it actually did happen. And you still, just because you suppressed your emotions, that doesn't mean they're not there. They won't be there until you allow it to flow through you. And it's like a bag, you have to take it out. But the process of taking it out can be difficult. But it's not like you will have to redo it again. Like you won't. Emotionally, yes. But physically, no. So even though it will be difficult, it will be still safe. But my advice for you to that, if you want to look for a therapist who will work with you through this process, make sure that therapist is aware of how to process trauma. Not every therapist works with trauma, not every therapist likes working with trauma and has qualifications to work with trauma. So make sure when you are looking for a therapist, make sure you have someone who knows what they're doing. Okay, so that was my lessons. That was my 16 lessons for 2022. I hope that somehow you could take something from it to yourself, and that those lessons will help you have this year much easier and much better. So if you liked it, please subscribe or like or share this video. I would very much appreciate it. So for today, I would love to thank you for being here, for listening, for being here with me. And I will see you very soon. And everyone, Happy New Year. Bye.